So what's up guys, it's the Midget Army here, and in today's video we're going to be going over my personal weapon tier list for Call of Duty's Warzone. Now keep in mind, this tier list is absolutely biased because it's just what I think of all the guns in the game. My opinion is probably going to be different from your opinion for certain weapons, but without further ado, let's just go ahead and get started. First off, we've got the Striker 45. This has got the hollow point rounds. I don't think it's inherently good, but I don't think it's really bad either. I definitely think that it's better than the regular Striker 45, so for that reason, B tier. Next up, AUG with the 5.56. Now, I love this weapon in multiplayer. However, in Warzone, I don't think it holds up as well. Now, the 5.56, honestly, I would go back and forth between B and C. Now, the 5.56 rounds are great, especially when you can put that 60-round magazine on it, or the drum mag, I think it is. But when you put that on it, it makes it a pretty good weapon. There's not a whole lot of recoil that you have to deal with, but it's not something necessarily that I would try and do in Warzone. If you're going to try and use an assault rifle, use an assault rifle. So I'm going to drop you in B tier. You're not inherently good, but not inherently bad. I don't like the AUG SMG as much as the AUG 5.56. The SMG, not that good. I'm going to put it in C tier. Now, the Kilo 141, S tier. This is the current meta. Whether you like it or not, it's the current meta. The Kilo 141 with the 60-round or the 100-round mags, I'm not even going to get into it. Next up, M4. This has been a solid weapon since day one. I've found myself having to use Lone Star 1's M4 every now and then. And he doesn't have it set up the way that I personally would set it up, but I still like it. I still find myself doing pretty well with it. So I'm going to go ahead and put it in the S tier. I have used it before. I do like it, and I think it does hold up really well. Next up, we've got the Kar 98K. If you're going to use a sniper, use a sniper. But this is a great marksman rifle. It still has that one-shot kill potential with the headshots, and it is pretty mobile. It's pretty swift. It's fast to use. So for that reason, I'll put it in A tier. It's not the best sniper. I think that the HDR is the best sniper, but there it is, Kar 98. Mark II carbine, F tier. I don't think there needs to be a discussion about that. Crossbow. Now, a lot of people would put this F tier, but this thing is crazy powerful. So it's not really usable. It's pretty hard to use because it's so slow to reload. It's completely unforgiving. But when you do hit those shots, man, they hurt. So D tier. SKS, I don't think it's that good. My biggest hang up with the SKS and the M14 is that they both take assault rifle. Now, my issue with that is you can't find sniper rifle ammo near as much as you can find assault rifle ammo. So I honestly, my personal opinion for that, you're better off if you're going to use a weapon semi-auto, grab the M4, grab the Kilo, and use it in semi-auto mode or burst mode, because I feel like they can outcompete the SKS and the M14 any day. Next up, we got the AX50. From a sniper rifle standpoint, I don't think it's the best in Warzone. It's not bad. It is a good gun, but it's not the best. Dragunov, F tier. I don't think we need to have a discussion about that one. HDR, I already said it's. I don't think there needs to be a discussion about it either. The HDR is the best sniper rifle in Warzone. Now, I don't know whether or not I will make a video on that. It just seems like I would be wasting my time because a lot of people already have their videos on it, and their class setups is pretty much exactly what I would use. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll make one day, but not today. The 1911, F tier. 7 rounds, just not enough. I know you can increase it to, I think it's 15 rounds, but even then, it's still not enough. And as a pistol, you're already at a disadvantage. Same thing with the 357. I think, honestly, the 357 is not as unforgiving as the crossbow, but the problem is it's hard to hit people with it. Now, you can have the best aim in the world, and you can hit your shots, and it definitely does hurt, but the problem is most people don't have aimbot-like aim. For that reason, it's easily F tier. X16, this is the starting pistol that you get once you drop out of the plane. It's not good, it's not bad, so, I mean, it's a pistol. So what you got to use in the beginning. 357 Snake Shot. Now, as much as I would love to put this thing in the F tier because I hate when I get killed by a 357 with Snake Shot round, I'm sorry, but it's actually halfway decent for what it is. I'll put it in the C tier. Just again, biased. I don't like getting killed by that thing. Renetti Burst, B tier. If we're looking at it from a pistol standpoint, I think that the Renetti Burst is probably going to be the quickest time to kill for any of the pistols. So, from that standpoint, you know, B tier. I would easily drop it for something else as soon as I found something else, but if I have nothing else, Renetti Burst, I love it. Now the FAL, F tier. I feel like we don't need to have a discussion about this one, but it was nerfed recently. It's still S tier. I am still getting absolutely beamed by the FAL. Some of these guys, man, they have found out how to use this thing, and they have found out how powerful it is, and sometimes I just can't stop it. I can't compete sometimes. Next up, Growl. It was nerfed, but it was not nerfed into oblivion. This thing is still relevant today, even though it's not meta. I am still getting down left and right by the Growl, even though that range was definitely hit. Now, the Odin, you guys know this one is my #1 weapon. It is not my favorite weapon, but is the #1 weapon that I use in Call of Duty. Now, my only hang up with the Odin is you need to be as accurate as possible in Warzone, and the Odin has such a strong vertical recoil, and it is pretty slow. But the thing is that it fires faster than the FAL, and it hits just as hard as the FAL. So easily, Odin is up there. If you enjoy this weapon, and if you can actually use it, if you can actually hit your shots, you're in for a really good time in Warzone. Next up, M13. This thing is a pea shooter. It fires those things like crazy fast, and it has 0 recoil. So you'll see right here, it pop up on screen. It's my class setup for the M13. If you want to watch it, go ahead. This thing is a beast. If you watch that video, you'll see that there's 0 recoil. That thing is bouncing around like this as I'm shooting hundreds of yards away. Just absolutely demolishing people. So M13, great weapon. FR556, F tier, no discussion. AK-47, it's good. I'm sorry, it's not good. It's not good. B tier, it's not terrible, but it's not really that good either. I've got 15 minutes to finish this video. Can we do it, boys? I think we can. Scar, absolute trash. I hate it. If you're in Warzone, you need more than 30 rounds, which even if you upgrade this thing, which comes standard with 20 round mags, even if you upgrade it, 30 rounds is the highest you can go, and it weighs the weapon down a whole bunch, and it's just not that good. The Scar has so much potential, but it just does not have the ammo capacity that it needs, and I don't know what they did with the recoil, but that thing, it fires like a truck now. Ram 7, S tier. I feel like there shouldn't be a discussion. I feel like the Ram 7 at certain ranges will outperform an M4A1 any day. Now, the Ram 7 is my personal favorite weapon in all of Call of Duty right now. Next up, MP5, S tier. Again, I feel like there shouldn't be a discussion here. Even after the nerf that the MP5 got, that thing is still an absolute little beast. MP7, A tier. It definitely does get outcompeted by the MP5, but the MP7 is still a great weapon. There's not a whole lot of recoil, and that thing fires like crazy. P90, thinking the same thing. Now, the reason that I'm putting the P90 at an A tier instead of a B tier is because the P90 comes standard with 50 round magazines, whereas on the MP7, on the MP5, on really any weapon here, you would have to put 50 round mags as an attachment when this one comes standard on it, so you don't have to weigh it down with extra magazine attachments. You can focus on your mobility. Otherwise, it doesn't have a whole lot of recoil, and it's a pretty good weapon overall. Bison, I'm thinking the exact same thought process. This thing comes standard with 64 round magazines, and it definitely does compete with the MP7. I don't think any SMG competes with the MP5, but that's a discussion for another day. Uzi with the 41 AE, it's only got 30 rounds, not that great, and the Uzi to me feels like a tin can when I fire it, so I'll put it, no, C tier. It's not good, it's not bad. What is this, the regular Striker 45? I feel like it gets outcompeted almost in every aspect of the weapon itself. I don't know, I'll put it in C tier. It's not good, but not bad. Uzi, D tier. Don't think we needed to have a discussion on that one. Here's a Striker 45. It was added in twice, I guess. Next up, we've got the MP5 10mm rounds. I haven't used it a whole lot in Warzone, but I know that most people say that it's really not that great. Plus, it does take away the high magazine capacity that you could have, like the 45 round mags or something like that. So, it's not inherently good, not inherently bad. I'll go ahead and drop it at a B tier because I do still think that it does compete. It is a strong competitor in Warzone. M4 SOCOM. Now, the only reason that I'm going to go ahead and put this in C tier, even though this does have the fastest time to kill potential of any weapon in Call of Duty, the only reason that it's in C tier is because the SOCOM rounds limit you to 10 rounds in an entire magazine. It's just not enough. It's just not enough to do anything. Maybe if you're in solos and you can take somebody down with only 10 rounds, but other than that, no. M4 9mm D tier. Why would you ever put 9mm on an M4? I don't feel like that's something that needs to be discussed. AK-545. I can't say I've used this. So for that reason, C tier. I don't know if it's good. I don't know if it's bad. Model 680. It's in the beginning of Warzone. It definitely would have been A or S tier for a shotgun. Definitely not overall. But for a shotgun, it definitely would have been A or S tier. It probably would have been right in between the two. But the problem with the Model 680 now is that it just doesn't seem to compete with the semi-auto fire shotguns in the game now. So I'm going to go ahead and drop you down to a B tier. Whereas the R90, A tier. That double fire in the beginning is absolutely killer. 725, sorry buddy, you know where you belong. Origin 12. I'm going to move the R90 down so that I can put the Origin 12 at A tier. I don't think that there is a better shotgun in Warzone than the Origin 12. Now, it's a complete opposite situation for multiplayer, but we're not talking multiplayer today. Origin 12 is a great weapon in Warzone. VLK Rogue, I get constantly outcompeted with even SMG players at close range. This at point blank range with a shotgun, you should be able to drop anybody. The shotgun should be the fastest time to kill anything up at point blank range, but it still gets outcompeted by things like the MP5, the MP7. So for that reason, for a shotgun, sorry buddy, you're terrible. M91, it's not inherently good. It's not inherently bad. I do feel like I should have more clips than I really have at the moment with the M91, because as a floor weapon, A tier, absolutely. Only reason I have this at B tier is because it is a little bit sluggish. Of course, it is an LMG. The thing about the M91 is that reload time. There's not a whole lot that you can do about that other than add in the 200 round belt magazines, which weighs this weapon down a lot. But it's, as for what it is, pretty solid weapon. Not going to complain about it. MG34. It's solid. The only thing stopping this from being an S tier light machine gun is the simple fact that it is like carrying around a freight train. This thing is so slow to fire, and I can see why back in the golden days this thing used to just be a mounted light machine gun, and they called it a day at that. So as a mounted gun, there's not many things that compete with this. If you're already looking at somebody and somebody is already looking at you and you both pull your triggers at the same time, you're almost guaranteed to win with an MG34. The problem is that reload speed and just the speed of it in general, it is too slow. PKM, I'm going to put it up right there in A tier as well. I think that the PKM overall is a good LMG. I think it is a solid LMG. It just doesn't compete with the Bruin. The Bruin is S tier. I don't think the Bruin's in this list, but the Bruin is absolutely S tier. SA87. Now, I'm currently using this in multiplayer, but it feels like if an AR met an LMG and they did their thing, and there it is, SA87. It's got all of the speed of an LMG, while at the same time having the damage output and magazine capacity of an assault rifle. It seems like it got the worst of both qualities in that one. Holger, I kind of feel the same way. It is slow. It should kind of be classified as an LMG, but at the same time, it really should be classified as an assault rifle. So it falls in that between stage, that same between stage as the SA87. I just think it's a little bit better than the SA87, but I'm not going out of my way for a Holger. Next up, EBR-14. Same problem with the SKS. I just think that it is a little bit better than the SKS, and I do think that it does compete, just not as much as the rest of the weapons do. Snake Shot. I put it in there already, so let's drop you back there. MG34, same thing. Should be back here. Joker. I'm getting PTSD as we speak.
Long range.
Oh, I'm immediately getting hit. I can't go prone. D tier. Strela P. This is going to be an unpopular opinion for sure. I think the Strela P as a launcher is A tier. I think that the Strela P is better than the RPG-7. Now, reason being is the Strela P, that thing fires like an absolute bullet. I mean, I don't understand why some people aren't using this more often. It's very powerful against vehicles, and it fires super fast. And it actually fires in the direction that you're looking for. It just kind of lobs a little bit, so it does drop before it starts to hit most of your targets at certain ranges. But the RPG-7 isn't necessarily a weapon that fires straight either. It just kind of picks its own trajectory because there's nothing really guiding the missile. So I don't know why I'm not seeing more people using the Strela P. Possibly because it's too slow to reload. It's probably a little bit faster to reload an RPG-7 than the Strela P. But that's another discussion for another day. M19. I like you. You're going to go B tier, buddy. The only reason I like it is because as a pistol, you can put 32 round mags on this thing. It's ridiculous. And plus, it's got the red tracers from the Cerulean Tracer pack, which comes with the Scar, but the Scar is absolute trash. So you can put red tracers on it. You do have the option for it. I'm not going to buy the pack just for red tracers, but M19, great pistol. I like it. Pila has the same lock-on problem as the Joker, where you can only lock on to certain targets. But I think it does it better than the Joker, so I'm going to put that C tier. Deagle, C tier. I like it, but I would probably trade out an M19 for it, and I would definitely take a Renetti Burst over it. I'm thinking Renetti Burst. I'm going to go ahead and move this to A tier because it's pretty powerful. I like it. Now it's A tier for pistol. Don't forget that. So MG34, this one here, this is not, I've already put the actual MG34 in the list itself, but we're going to go ahead and call this the Bruin. Bruin, S tier. No doubt about it. Let's call this one the new SMG that just came out that I don't bother to learn the name of because it's not that good for Warzone. 357 Snake Shots. Let's just call this one the AN94, which I think is S tier. You guys, that hyperburst feature is crazy to me. It is so crazy. You can get 3 shots into somebody with no recoil, and half the time they don't even know what happened. They don't know what's going on. So AN94 I think is going to be great, and towards the end of Season 5 you can unlock the Shadow rounds for it, which I'm super excited for. Last weapon that I can think of is going to be the CR56 AMAX. I don't think that it's something that necessarily can compete with a RAM or an M13 or a Grau, Kilo, M4, but it's a solid assault rifle. Don't get me wrong. It's definitely solid, so I'll put it in A tier. No doubt about that. So guys, this is my weapon tier list for Modern Warfare's Warzone. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Did I forget any weapons? Do you disagree with some of the choices that I made with some of the weapons? I can already see a couple of comments coming about certain weapons. Or do you think that this list was spot on? Be sure to let me know in the comment section down below, and if you like this video, go ahead and drop me one of these. And if you enjoy Modern Warfare content, don't forget to subscribe because I am uploading every Tuesday and Thursday at 5:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. So thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you on Tuesday.
And now it's time to pass!